This channel is made possible by viewers like you. My viewers, subscribers, and patrons greatly help to keep this channel going. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you. Please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any uploads. And if you'd like to go the extra mile, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you'll get access to what I'm working on, previews of upcoming content, and even early videos, along with other tier options for those that are interested. Thank you, and now on to the video. Nightmare Reaper is another one of those indie FPS games that is going for that older retro style, and you know what? It's really good and pretty addictive. I still have more to go in this game, but even with the time I have spent with it so far, you can see how it's trying to bring back some of the older looks and design, along with mixing in some modern-like elements into the game. There's even some unexpected surprises, like how the progression works, along with some of the weapons you get to use. One thing is certain is that this FPS has style, fun, and an addicting loop all mixed into creating an experience that does a great job at hooking the player, which makes you want to quickly pick the game back up whenever you can. Nightmare Reaper is a first-person shooter, and this area by itself is solid. The violence delivers what you would expect with all the wanted blood and gore from all of your devastating weapons. On top of this, the enemies will often shoot out gold as well as the blood when you kill them. It is a spectacle of colors and guts whenever you get into a shootout. The sound and impact are satisfying. There are many random elements when it comes to this game, and in one area it can be you never really know what kind of weapons you're going to encounter when you go into a level. You can pick up anything from a double-barrel shotgun to sticky bombs to a variety of magical spells. This variety continues to feed into keeping the action interesting and engaging. And on top of this, there is a sort of loot-like element to finding the guns, meaning in many cases, weapons will have different enhancements and such, meaning you will pick up the same weapon a few times in one level. Each one could be a little bit different from each other. You can carry as many weapons as you want, which means you are highly encouraged to try out new weapons and see if you can find your new favorite. Each of the weapons have their own alternative fire, which adds a fun element of surprise and mystery to each weapon that you see. It could mean attaching a silencer to your weapon, or firing off both barrels on your shotgun, among other things. The action starts fun and stays fun. When it comes to how the levels operate, all of the expected secret walls to bust down and traps are also found here. Enemies tend to get locked onto you and just keep hunting you down until you are no more. This means you can easily be in situations where it feels like you have an army coming after you. You'll fight everything from flying foes, rushers, range fighters, and a lot more. There was a lot of times where I went up against some odd enemies, and they just didn't seem to die, so I opted to run. Random encounters can occur in a level, contributing to that freshness that they are trying and succeeding with doing. Another thing I appreciated too was the progression felt fun and rewarding, but not grindy. It is something that you can enjoyably grind for, but not something that feels like a slog to earn. Nor do you feel considerably underpowered fighting these enemies. Some of the mini-bosses are more spongy, but for the most part, enemies come at you in greater numbers, which I really liked as it made encounters feel a bit grander. Nightmare Reaper sort of has this weird element to it, even from how you start the game. You are stuck in a room and you need to lie down in your bed to start a level. I do like how the game just starts. No long-winded introduction here. You boot up the game and you're pretty much into it right from the word go. And just like an older style game, you are not handheld or guided like you're a dummy to your objective location. This means that you are dropped into a level and there is this fun feeling of exploration here. Many retro shooters were like this as you explored rooms trying to find keys, supplies, defeating enemies, and hopefully finding that exit. With Nightmare Reaper, since it has a lot of randomization to it, I always had this sense of wonder when going into a level because I honestly had no idea what I was going to find. Even if I was retrying a level I just failed. What was even better is how it felt this way every time I went into a level. Where was this going to take me? What weapons was I going to find? Where would the hidden treasures be? And what new enemies or combinations would I face? Now, Nightmare Reaper has some roguelike elements when it comes to its levels, events, and even progression. So as you play the game, you'll earn and find gold. Gold can be used to upgrade your skills. This will increase many different areas, from having more health, another weapon slot, faster movement, among other options. There's interesting things about this, because when you use your gold on an upgrade, you are then taken to a Mario-like minigame where you try to earn some extra coins. I also played another set of minigames that were kind of like an old school RPG, but so far it was a nice change of pace to do some light platforming, or even a turn-based battle and earn some extra coins. Now I have died a few times, requiring me to play the same level a few times, only this level was not the same. Sometimes I would go into rooms and it would be slightly different, or it would be completely different as well. I don't know if this game just organizes a set of curated levels and then randomizes them for the player, or there is a form of procedural generation here. Either way, this helps to contribute to the freshness of the game and keeping it engaging. It is important to note too that when you leave a level, even if you end up dying, you get to keep all the gold you have earned. So in this case, you're always able to walk away with something. I am impressed with what this space was able to do. Many have been craving for new shooters, but in an old style, and now we have seen such a great variety of different games like this. Whether it is from remastering retro shooters, new games taking on older styles, and then presenting a new experience from it, or something like Nightmare Reaper, where it has a retro-like look and feel, but then adds in some progression systems that you would see in modern titles. The good developers are able to make all of this gel together, and you can tell right from the start that these developers know what they're doing, and hopefully we can see more from them, because Nightmare Reaper is really good. Plus the game just looks good with plenty of unique visual designs, and the music score greatly fuels and helps the action. The shooting is already enjoyable as it is, but when mixed in with the music, it takes the game to another level. This shooter is a good example of the people who have played it really enjoy it, but I think it's one of those that very much deserves some more attention. Nightmare Reaper is very awesome, but it's also kind of underrated, or even more overlooked, and as of this year, you can play this title on pretty much anything now, even the Switch too. Nightmare Reaper is a lot of fun, and one that I want to make some more videos on as I keep exploring this title. But if you are looking for something that has that addiction and begs you to keep coming back, I would say this is definitely something shooter fans should check out. Have you played Nightmare Reaper? What is one of your favorite retro shooters? Let me know all of this in the comments down below. If you're interested in being notified of new videos, please hit the subscribe button and bell. And if you would like to support the channel and get early access to content, please check out my Patreon. All of the links will be at the end of this video and within the description. And thank you very much for watching.